Good evening and welcome to GBS News at 9, where we make your news our business. I'm Paul Madenge, bringing you the most important stories from around the country and beyond. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Alan Kiama. Now, we begin this bulletin as we culminate the celebration of World Radio Day today, joining the global community in recognizing a medium that has informed, educated, and connected generations across continents. Proclaimed by UNESCO, this day highlights the powerful role radio continues to play in promoting access to information, freedom of expression, and public dialogue, from delivering breaking news to offering education and entertainment. Radio remains one of the most trusted and accessible platforms, reaching audiences in both urban centers and remote communities. Here at GBS TV, we honor the legacy of radio and its continued impact in shaping responsible journalism. Happy World Radio Day as we continue bringing you the stories that matter most. Let's have a look.
Cha pekee ambacho kilikuwa kikitangaza mashindano ya mipira.
Tunaelekea mambo ya uchaguzi. Kwa hivyo redio itakuwa ni chombo muhimu sana katika kuhamasisha wananchi kuhusu mwelekeo wa vile uchaguzi unafaa kuwa, kuhusu kupiga kura. So naimiza waandishi wa habari wawe makini sana kwa mambo ambayo watakuwa wanaripoti.
In terms of World Radio Day, radio is one of the earliest means of communication. And in fact, radio is the most sort of effective way to communicate across the population, from the rural villages to the urban centers, those driving cars and all that.
Radio inafanya information, na mkisikia ngoma kutoka kwa radio, mna dance pole pole. So radio ni kila kitu.
Radio ni radio.
Na funny thing about radio, yule anaongea ukimpata physically ni tofauti.
Well, a happy World Radio Day there. And now let's move on. Orange Democratic Movement leaders have accused the country's retired President Uhuru Kenyatta of interfering in the party's internal affairs amid rising tensions. During rallies in Lamu and Tana River counties, ODM leaders claimed that a function of leaders affiliated with Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna is working with the retired president to sabotage ongoing talks between ODM and UDA. Here are the details.
ODM leaders intensified their political onslaught during rallies held in Lamu and Tana River counties, accusing former President Uhuru Kenyatta of meddling in the Orange Party's affairs. The leaders, who were received with enthusiasm by residents in Lamu Island, claimed that the former president is fueling divisions within ODM at a time when the party is engaged in a crucial discussions within the United Democratic Alliance.
Shida tuko naye ndani ya chama chetu sio mambo ya broad-based, sio mambo ya serikali ya broad-based, sio mambo ya Ruto. Shida tuko naye kwa chama chetu ni yule former president ambaye anaitwa Uhuru Kenyatta. Huyu ndio anaharibu chama yetu.
Sisi tuko pale ambapo baba mwenyewe alitufikisha. And we know the culprit in this whole agenda. Na huyo anaitwa President Uhuru, former President Uhuru Kenyatta. Yeye ndio anatamani ODM isishikane pande hii, iende ishikane na wale watu wa Wamunyoro.
Political temperatures flared in Lamu as the leaders took indirect swipes at Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna, accusing him of working with external forces to undermine party unity.
Wako na chama ambao wameunda kitambo. Nia yao na madhumuni yao tuikoroge ODM, baada ya kuikoroga sisi tuingie. Sasa sisi tunaambia kabla hamjaikoroga tumewakoroga nyinyi.
Lakini wakati tuliona wakianza kuzungumuza, sisi naona vitu vingine sisi hapana elewa. Atiko watu huko najiita fimbo by fimbo, watu ya Munyoro yenyewe. Wananuka wa Munyoro, wanaimba wa Munyoro, ati ndio wamebebana nao kuja kule kwa ngome ya ODM.
Musimame ngangari bila kuambiwa kwamba kimeenda, kimekufa, kimetawanyika, bila fulani hakuna mahali kitaenda.
Wale wanacheza na ODM wetu kanenda. Wewe kama unaona umebega mabawa, wajiweza peke yako, si unaenda unaanzisha chama ingine?
some leaders from the Western region openly called for Sifuna's removal from his position as Secretary General, arguing that his leadership is hindering the party's progress.
And as the ODM Kakamega County, we are in support of the decision taken by NEC to remove Honorable Sifuna and replace him in an acting capacity with the women rep of Busia County, Honorable Catherine Omanyo. Because as a party, we need to have discipline within the party.
Despite the internal wrangles, ODM party continue with its political rallies, with the next meeting scheduled for Kilifi County. Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Paul M.
Now, as ODM party standstill to its objective, Migori Town has brought to a standstill on Thursday evening when two functions led by Suna West Member of Parliament Peter Masara clashed with Migori Governor George Mbogo in a barrio event in the Oburu area. Both leaders have recorded their statement at the Migori police station. Zipora Gaturia with the details.
The clashes started when Migori governor wanted to be the master of the event, something that rubbed the area member of parliament Peter Masara the wrong way. The barrel which took place in Oruba escalated and police had to intervene to disperse the crowd.
The governor decided to be the master of ceremony in my constituency, and I'm seated. He came late, not even 10 minutes. I was there for 2 hours. Then he picks the microphone that he wanted to invite me. This thing, he planned it well, that he wanted to kill people. But God is so good that the people protected themselves.
Both leaders have recorded their statement at the Migori police station. No casualties have been reported so far.
Na mimi wakati nilipata nafasi ya kuomboleza nao na kusema pole kwa hao, yeye mwenyewe alikuja akaleta furugo. Alikuwa ameleta vijana karibu 500 hivi, wale walikuwa wamejiami na kurugu efforts. Lakini kama gavana mpenda amani, mimi nimekuja hapa kufikisha malalamishi yetu kirasmi.
Zipora Gaturia for GBS.
Now, from political clash, now let's take a short break. Keep your feedback streaming into our social media platform at GBS TV Africa. The SMS line is 21144. We will be right back. Stay tuned.
So today we are diving into a topic that has become rather popular right here in Kenya, the K-pop culture.
I would say K-pop invokes creativity, like mega creativity. I have friends who are creative and you'll see you've done that and they're like, yeah. An ex told me that K-pop girls, K-pop stan girls, he was like, the men you stan look like women, and you aim to get a man that looks like that. So if you fail to find a man like that, because obviously you're in Kenya, you're not going to find a pretty man.
For me, it's like I have two personalities at this point. I have my normal life and I have my army life. Because when I get into my army life, it's just like a whole new world. A community full of people who don't judge, people who accept you.
Learning Korean from a Kenyan can sometimes mess you up because they pronounce words differently, and when you speak to a native, it's like, hold up, what did you say?
I've never met like a K-pop fan. I don't know why.
What am I?
No, not when people want to like express themselves like, I'm a K-pop fan. Unless you see them like wearing like a branded t-shirt or a branded hoodie, you realize that they're K-pop fans.
The main campaign of BTS is loving yourself, right? And K-pop has a lot of drawbacks. Just like anything else, too much of something is poisonous, yeah? And one of the drawbacks is it comes with beauty because they have these absurd beauty standards. While BTS passed this message that you're supposed to love yourself, embrace yourself, you're just perfect the way you are. You know, you don't have to eat less to be beautiful. You're beautiful from the inside, right?
Get into BTS, it's hard to come out.
Okay.
Mambo
Mambo VP, man. Mambo VP. Welcome to Echo Muziki. This is the best gospel show in East and Central Africa. My good name is Bensi, but you can call me the true ninja. And of course, I'm not alone. I'm with the baddest, the illest, the freshest,
Mr. Chicky Chicky Chick, DJ Jalaz with a Z.
Yes, sire. This is where we bring you the top gospel song of the week. The top 10 best gospel jams in the week, of course. And of course, we bring you the best gospel news. And of course, the freshest interviews from the best guests. Catch us live each and every Saturday starting from
10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
So make sure you tell your friend, to tell a friend, to tell his friend that this is the best show.
Only on
GBS TV Africa.
About being a miss or being a pageant queen. It is not just about wearing a crown or looking pretty on social media.
Yeah.
It is about how much you can impact the community.
Yeah.
What can you do with the title you hold? I'm actually a young model in the industry. I
Okay.
started modeling this year in school.
Oh.
Actually, I used to go to International Youth Fellowship where we had a modeling class. I used to study fashion and design, and we had a modeling class. So I am high fashion trained.
Yeah.
On Instagram, kelly.omuhaya. On TikTok, Miss Omuhaya.
Now tell us about that moment when you had your name that you won Miss Kasarani 2025-2026.
What I would like to advise you is keep going. Keep going. Put God first. Be resilient. Be a go-getter. Find joy within yourself. Walk with pride. Chin up. Smile. You are a queen. He who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. That makes me always rise, knowing that I have something that is greater than what people can see.
Yeah.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back to the bulletin here at GBS News at 9, where we make your news our business. And now moving on, President William Ruto chaired the Committee of African Heads of State and Government on Climate Change meeting at the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa as part of the 39th ordinary session of the African Union Assembly on 30th February 2026, where leaders from across the continent are deliberating on critical issues including regional peace and security, economic integration, climate action, and sustainable development, with Kenya reaffirming its commitment to advancing Africa's collective climate agenda and strengthening continental cooperation. Here are the details.
Its message was clear. The world is still not on track, but the determination to act remains strong. That resolve is grounded in lived experience. Climate impacts are intensifying across all regions of the globe. In Africa, they are already reshaping livelihoods and economies, from prolonged drought in the Horn of Africa and severe floods and cyclones in the north and south to rising temperatures and erratic rainfall across the Sahel. There are no longer isolated shocks. They are persistent pressures affecting food security, fiscal stability, and social cohesion. This is unfolding at a time of wider global uncertainty, a time when geopolitical alignments are shifting and economic cooperation is increasingly organized around regional and strategic partnerships. Many countries are restructuring supply chains to strengthen domestic capacity and deepen ties with trusted partners. Climate policy is also moving into the center of economic strategy. It now influences trade, industry, and technology choices. Governments are using incentives, standards, and partnerships to advance.
Now moving on, the government of Kenya says it will take firm action against teachers who fail to accurately declare students' enrollment in their schools after uncovering 900,000 ghost students nationwide. The Ministry of Education, together with the Teachers Service Commission, and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations have initiated the process of disciplining or prosecuting 62 education officials, among them 14 head teachers. Here are the details.
After several months, the Ministry of Education has officially released the final report detailing the exact number of students in public schools, both primary and secondary, following the completion of a comprehensive review and verification of data. Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba says investigations have uncovered significant discrepancies between the figures recorded in the NEMIS and the actual number of students physically present in schools. In primary schools, 800,000 students were found to be missing from classrooms despite their records appearing in the NEMIS system. In junior secondary schools, registered students exceeded those captured in the NEMIS system by 500,000. Senior secondary schools, on the other hand, recorded a shortfall of 87,000 students compared to the figures reflected in the NEMIS database.
The verification was conducted to safeguard public resources, strengthen accountability, and ensure that government capitation is based on accurate, verifiable, and credible enrollment data across all public basic education institutions.
Ogamba says that the report has been handed over to the Teacher Service Commission and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations to take action against 62 education officials accused of failing to submit data, inflating student numbers beyond actual enrollment, and deliberately concealing the existence of so-called quote-unquote ghost schools.
14 heads of institutions for failure or refusal to submit data for verification. Number 2, 20 heads of institutions for submitting inflated student enrollment data. Administrative action is being taken against 28 sub-county directors of education and quality assurance and standards officers.
The report further reveals that the government has withheld approximately 900 billion shillings after suspending capitation funds meant for students whose data could not be verified. The funding freeze will remain in effect until accurate information is confirmed. Additionally, all schools confirmed to exist but found not to be offering educational services will soon to be officially shut down, and further investigation and action against those responsible continue.
There were 102 junior schools and 84 primary schools that were below the stipulated minimum enrollment threshold.
This is Jeff Abuki, GBS TV News, Nairobi.
Now moving on, Muthomi Njuki has dismissed calls by the Ori Democratic Movement to have the deputy president position included in upcoming coalition talks, stating that the seat is firmly held by an able occupant who has diligently served William Ruto. Speaking in Chuka during the burial of County Secretary Alex Muratha's mother, the governor maintained that the position currently held by Kithure Kindiki is non-negotiable, urging that ODM, which he termed fragmented, lacks the numerous strength to mark such demands, and adding that if the push persists, then the ruling UDA party could as well donate Kindiki to ODM but retain him as deputy president.
That the basic irreducible minimum that they want from the broad-based government is a seat of the deputy president. Na sisi watu wa pande hii, we are saying that is a seat that is not negotiable. Kabisa, it is not. As far as we are in broad-based government as one government or broad-based government, the seat of the deputy president is not negotiable. it has to remain with Professor Kithure Kindiki. However, should the ODM really insist they have to stay in broad-based government, they don't want that seat, we are willing to make one very, very simple compromise. Because the president is UDA, we can lend them Kithure Kindiki to be in ODM, and he can still remain as the deputy president of Kenya. That is the only compromise we can make.
And now with that story, let's take a short break. Keep your feedback streaming into our social media platform at GBS TV Africa. The SMS line is always 21144. We will be right back. Stay tuned.
Hey yo, Mambo VP man, Mambo VP. Welcome to Echo Muziki. This is the best gospel show in East and Central Africa. My good name is Bensi, but you can call me the true ninja, and of course I'm not alone. I'm with the baddest, the illest, the freshest,
Mr. Chicky Chicky Chick, DJ Jalaz with a Z.
Yes, sire. This is where we bring you the top gospel song of the week. The top 10 best gospel jams in the week, of course. And of course, we bring you the best gospel news. And of course, the freshest interviews from the best guests. Catch us live each and every Saturday starting from
10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
So make sure you tell your friend, to tell our friend, to tell his friend that this is the best show.
Only on
GBS TV Africa.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back to the bulletin here at GBS News at 9, where we make your news our business. And now it's time for your most favorite segment of the bulletin, the sports news. Let's get sporty. Now, the Football Kenya Federation has begun major renovations at the FKF Gold Project headquarters to modernize the federation image ahead of key international events. The once facility is being upgraded to meet international standards, creating a more professional environment for staff and visiting guests, and signaling a fresh chapter for football administration in Kenya.
Happening at the moment is we are undertaking some major renovations at our headquarters, that is the FKF Gold Project, and they were in a very dilapidated state when we came in, and also, of course, over time. So we had to look at it because this really is the face of the federation. So we had to undertake the major renovations so that at least we can bring it up to speed and give confidence to our people that indeed, even the face of how we look, we can deliver something for football in this country. It was necessary. I think we have major projects that are coming up. We have AFCON coming, so we anticipate very many guests from outside, and we do not want them to see a face of people who are not serious with football. We'll have FIFA guests, we'll have CAF guests coming in, government officials. So we thought it is important for us to undertake these renovations at this point in time so that it can be a welcoming face when anybody visits the FKF Gold Project, Kananda House. One, we had to deal with the roof. We had a leaking roof, which was really causing a lot of damage to some of our equipments in the office. We had to also undertake renovations in our floor. The nature of the way the floor looked was also dilapidated. We also had to look at our outer area of the offices. So we also need to undertake some proper landscaping into the outer space of our offices. So there are major renovations being undertaken, especially within those three areas, and of course to also modernize the way our interior looks inside the office. With a proper working environment, it's actually a catalyst to proper output from the staff. So obviously, if you have a good working environment, it's clear that obviously you'll give maximum output because you're staying in a habitable environment. So it will really help us in terms of how we work on our projects as a federation, because staff then will be motivated to be coming into these offices every day properly, because they are now well constructed and well made. Yes, I think for me is to just tell them that this is a mark of confidence that they should have with the federation, because being the face of where we conduct our business and operations, then if the place looks very good and in a good condition, then it means they can have confidence in what we can do for football in this country. So I want to give them hope that whatever we are doing here is to uplift the face of football in the country, so that we look.
And now, history is being made in Nairobi as Kenya hosts a leg of the World Rugby 7 Series for the first time, with HSBC Sevens 2 kicking off at the Nyayo National Stadium. 12 men's and 12 women's teams are competing for promotion, with home sides Kenya Shujaa and Kenya Lionesses leading the charge, while Kenya Rugby Union confirms the venue is ready. The Nairobi stop is the first of 3 legs before the series moves to Montevideo and Sao Paulo, with the opening whistle set for 9 a.m. on Saturday, February 14th, 2026. Now moving on, in a high-stakes encounter, the Kenyan national women's under-20 football team, the Rising Starlets, is gearing up for a crucial second leg match against Tanzania. This match, scheduled to take place in Dar es Salaam, will determine the team's fate in their quest for a spot in the FIFA Women's World Cup. Kenya's Rising Starlets head into their away clash against Tanzania, holding a 1-0 first leg lead, determined to finish the job and reach the final qualifying round against Cameroon.
Pia yao pia si tunaweza win pia hapo, hata kama ni mbaya hata kama ni mzuri. Mchagua jembe si mkulima.
Second leg tunajua haitakuwa rahisi, lakini pia sisi sio rahisi. Lazima tutafight, tutapush, na ikienda vizuri tunaenda kuwin. Morali iko juu, tumetrain, kila mtu ana believe tutashinda na tutashinda. Vision yetu ni kwenda World Cup. Na hii game lazima tushinde hii game ndio tuende World Cup. So hii game ni very important for us. Lazima tu win, it's a must win ndio tuweze kufika kwa vision yetu ya kwenda World Cup.
Tunaona ni kama wameingiza uoga. Si ni wadogo lakini tuko sawa. Tumejikakamua na tumetrain, makocha wametupatia kila kitu yenye wanafaa kutupatia. Na kwa hii next game tunapromise kwamba tunapata ushindi.
Now, Simba SC have completed their final preparations for their last CAF Champions League Group D match against Stade Malien at the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium, aiming to end a tough campaign with pride despite being out of knockout contention. Bottom of the group with 2 points, Simba are seeking revenge for a previous 2-1 loss, restore confidence in their Mkapa fortress, even as they miss Shomari Kapombe and injured duo Kamara and Abdurazak Hamza, with kick-off set for February 14th, 4 p.m. Now moving on, at the Riyadh Air Metropolitano, Atlético Madrid all but sealed a place in a Copa del Rey final with a stunning 4-0 first leg demolition of Barcelona, racing into a 4-goal halftime lead at Diego after an early own goal and strike from Antonio Griezmann, Ademola and Julian. A second half VAR reversal and a late red card compounded Barcelona misery, and Hansi Flick admitted his side was outmatched, leaving them needing a near miracle comeback in the return leg at the Camp Nou. Now we have come to the end of the news bulletin. It's always a pleasure having you on board. My name is Paul Mathenge, and our sign language interpreter tonight has been Alan Kiama. It's a good night from me.
Everywhere